Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Destination Fantasy Podcast. It is Sunday, August 1st. I'm always here with my brother from another mother, Mr. Deshaun Reed. How you doing this morning?
Man, to be completely honest, I am running on legit fumes right now, bro. Like straight E. Man, but we definitely gonna make this thing work. Other than that, man, I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, bro?
Man, I can relate. Like the first thing that came to mind was that first line in that "Wipe Me Down" song. I pull up in the club VIP gas tank on me with all drinks on me. That's how I feel right now, bro.
Straight up, straight up.
Yeah, I think I only got like 3 to 4 hours of sleep last night, so I think we're one and the same right now. But nonetheless, we are up because we love what we do. And so today, we will, I guess, conclude our rankings. We will do the tight end rankings. But some interesting news happened this week. So, you know, that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, is back. So basically, what does that mean for the Packers? What does that mean for his teammates? As far as a fantasy football perspective, like Deshaun, what does this mean?
I mean, this means that the reigning NFL MVP from last year, he's back. Everyone, and I mean everyone on that team, from Aaron Jones, especially Devontae Adams, even Robert Tyan, like all of these guys received an automatic boost. And again, in our previous rankings, we had a couple of guys with like asterisks by their names, and this automatically just flies Devontae Adams right back to that number one spot. I mean, like the season he had last year, it just like the chemistry that they have, it's just unmatched. It is unmatched right now. Devontae Adams is your number one wide receiver as of right now. Aaron Jones, minimum top 10 running back. Aaron Rodgers himself, minimum top 10 fantasy quarterback. And Robert Tonyan, again, minimum top 10 tight end fantasy wise. So all of these guys are in very, very good shape. It was good news from a fantasy perspective from everyone. So everyone who hasn't drafted just yet, you get yourself a treat. So, I mean, all of these guys should be back to rare form just like last year. And again, I reiterate, Jamar, all of those guys finished in tied the top five for fantasy players in their respective positions. So this is like great news.
That's crazy. I mean, but you're right though. So I think we had Aaron Jones like 11 for 12 in our
Yep.
initial rankings. Devontae Adams was like 6, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, I think we had him around 8 or something like that, 8 or 9. Um, yeah, and so yeah, that just pretty much boosts everybody. So
Yep.
you know, quote unquote final season, quote unquote last dance, if you want to call it that, farewell tour, however you want to do it. And the Green Bay Packers, they know this hands down. Aaron Rodgers made it clear. If you haven't seen that press conference, he let them have it in front of their face, in front of the world. But nevertheless, you know, speaking of Robert Tunyon, you know, we about to get into some tight end rankings. So, all right. Um, so I guess for number one is Mr. Travis Kelsey. Is he the undisputed number one fantasy tight end this year?
I mean, that is just as good as a layup right now, man. So that guy is locked in at the fantasy's number one tight end for sure.
All right. So that was easy.
Oh,
Uh,
easy money.
all right. So two. I mean, I honestly believe it's between two players, George Kittle and Darren Waller. I guess. I mean, I know we're splitting hairs here, but which hair are you pulling?
I mean, we're definitely splitting hairs. You and I have been high on Waller the baller, and he can automatically come into like this number two spot. He's not going to fall any lower than three. So honestly, we can honestly flip flop these guys, man. You can put Kittle at two, Waller at three, Waller at two, Kittle at three, but just for the sake, and I know this is wrong, just for the sake of Kittle's name, I'm gonna just go ahead and put him at number two. And I mean, it can be two and just two, because like both of these guys are definitely going to get theirs, and it's a pretty big taper from like the top three to like the next 4 to 10. So like let's go ahead and put Kittle in at 2, and just assuming he stays healthy. Like that's been the only knock up on Kittle, because he'll miss a game here and there. With his physicality, and his style of play, he likes to punish people. So, sometimes that's like a double-edged sword. But I'm going to go ahead and keep Kittle at number 2 right now, Jamar.
All right, and let me ask you this. So Kittle has been like, top 2, top 3 for the last 4 years or so, it feels like. Mm-hmm. And he's been doing it with Jimmy Garoppolo. And now, they drafted Trey Lance, and it feels like he's going to start, soon. And so, I mean, with that, like, do you think Kittles can actually like compete with Kelsey for that top spot at that point, or do you think it's going to hurt his value, or do you think it's going to be about the same whenever Trey Lance starts?
I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be about the same. You know what you're going to get with Kittle. It's going to be, upwards of 11 to 1,200 yards, possibly up on like the high end. He's going to bring you in, and somewhere around like the upper, like 8 to maybe 10 touchdowns if he stays healthy. And like he's just going to punish people along the way. I think he is the toughest tight end out of, all football. Like that guy is hard-nosed, hardcore. He'll, punish you on his way to finding some pay dirt. And I expect that to happen a lot. I like what they're doing. I'm not sure if Garoppolo is going to get the nod there, but I think they should like let the rookie have a go at it, hopefully.
All right, fair enough. All right, so let's keep it moving. So the next couple of available tight ends are T.J. Hockenson, Mark Andrews, and then you possibly throw in, Goddard, Noah Fant, and the rookie Kyle Pitts. So, me personally, I'm leaning towards T.J. Hockenson for the 4th spot, but how are you thinking on that one?
I mean, I'm thinking pretty much about the same, just because I think that you have to take a look at what team that Hockenson is on. Like, I mean, he is the pass catcher on that offense right now that we know is going to get his. And, sometimes, more times than not, fantasy is a game of volume. And we know for sure this guy is going to get a ton of volume. And these are PPR rankings, by the way. So TJ Hockenson at 4, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because let's see, for the Detroit Lions, they don't have too many pass catchers in general. I mean, there's no Galladay, there's no Marvin Jones Jr. So you're stuck with T.J. Hockenson. You have what's his name, Tyrell Williams, who came over. You drafted a rookie. I can't even pronounce his last name. But you have that.
The rookie from USC, right?
I believe so. The funny thing is, I took him in our dynasty league.
I've seen that.
Matter of fact, I'll pull it up in a second. They also have, DeAndre Swift. The rookie wide receiver name is what? Oh, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep.
So yeah, basically have a bunch of people that you don't know for pass catchers for skill positions in Detroit, and Hockenson in his first 2 years has definitely made an impact. And yeah, like you said, the volume is there, and the formula that creates fantasy superstars is talent plus opportunity. So he has both. And I can see him with 90 plus catches this year. I can see it with 900 yards, maybe about 8 touchdowns. I can see it.
Man, that sounds about accurate. I think him and Jared Goff should be able to get up on the same page right away. So
should be. So, all right, TJ at 4. Are you okay with Mark Andrews at 5, or would you slide somebody else in?
Absolutely, Mark Andrews at 5, without a doubt. And again, kind of like Hockenson, Another tight end is the pass catcher on that offense. He got a great rapport with Lamar Jackson there, and he gets a lot of red zone looks as well. So having Mark Andrews outside the top 5 would definitely be in injustice. So, like, yeah, Mark Andrews at 5 sounds good to me.
All right. So, top 5 real quick: Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Waller the Baller, T.J. Hawkinson, and Mark Andrews.
So I'm actually this, Jamar. While we're talking about it, you and I both saw. I think you even like tagged me in it, in like a post where they mentioned that we've been saying Travis Kelce's name wrong all this whole time. So it's technically pronounced Kels. So will we be doing that? I mean, I just gotta know. Like it just sounds weird because we know the guy as Kelsey. You know what I mean? But technically it's pronounced Kels. Like Kells, but Kels.
Right. So I mean, I feel like we would have to, just because I mean we had to, do the correct pronunciation of your favorite kicker. So
well, that one we didn't have a choice, man. So
I mean, we can make an attempt. That's not something I feel like I'm gonna just know overnight type deal. But
fair enough, bro.
Mr. Kels. Oh boy. All right. So all right, 6. So we got some interesting names here. I mean, you got Noah Fant, you got Dallas Goedert, you got the rookie Kyle Pitts, who should make an instant impact. You got Logan Thomas, you got Robert Tonyan. So I mean, you got some names here that that they're touchdown dependent, but every once in a while they can actually have a good week without having a touchdown. So I guess where do we start?
Man, I think we should start, and this may sound weird, Jamar. I think we should insert a rookie here, and that would be Kyle Pitts. Look, man, this guy is the real deal. Only thing he has to do is show up on Sunday, and like the volume will be there. With Julio Jones being out of town, we already know that Calvin Ridley is going to get his. It should that's a lot of vacated targets, and a lot of those targets will fall up on this gentleman here. So, with that being said, I see nothing but opportunity for this guy. I see a great season, and to be picked as high as he is should tell you, or as high as he was, rather, should tell you all you need to know about this guy. So it feels very weird, and I don't even think we've ever done this, but to have a rookie tight end inside the top 6 is where we're at right now. But I think we should do it, just off of volume and in his ceiling. So Kyle Pitts, it was between 2 guys for me. It's either between Pitts and Fant. And I really, really like Fant's schedule as far as like tight ends go. I think he's finally going to have that breakout season like you and I both knew he could. So, but man, I got to go with like talent right here, man. And this guy Kyle Pitts is the real deal. So, Kyle Pitts at 6. I mean, it just is. It sounds right.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you. Like you said, target share is definitely going to be there. There's no Julio Jones. Calvin Ridley is going to get his. And that still leaves opportunity for another guy. I mean, we haven't seen a tight end drafted this high probably since O.J. Howard a couple of years ago.
Man.
And O.J. Howard is still a phenomenal talent, don't get me wrong. But I feel like Kyle Pitts has the chance to make an instant impact right away. And he went to Florida. And as good as the NFL farm system of a school of Bama that pumps out nothing but NFL talent at skill positions, they could not do anything with the man. So if you're not too familiar with Kyle Pitts or what's he about, you're going to find out soon enough. So I completely agree with you. So Kyle Pitts, number 6 with me. And then 7. So you basically solidified Noah Fant at number 7?
Yeah, for sure. Because like it was definitely a toss-up for these two guys. But even I think the tiebreaker is like quarterback play. And I think Matt Ryan is just better than both Bridgewater and Locke at this point. So I definitely have to roll with Kyle Pitts. But Noah Fant has a very good schedule, and man, I think he's going to finally get that breakout year that we've been wanting, like somewhere between 7 to 10 touchdowns and 850 to 900 yards receiving. So they got a very good young core of receivers there, Jamar, between Hamler and Cortland Sutton's coming back, and Noah Fant, you get him into the mix, and Jerry Jeudy. So man, they have weapons there. It's just about the QB play is very, very suspect. So Noah Fant should do well this year.
No, he should. I'm pretty sure he finished in the top 10 last year, believe it or not.
Yep.
I think that was one of my bold predictions. So I think that's the only one I actually scored correctly last year. So I'll pat myself on the back for real. And crazy thing is, so yeah, I mean, I feel like, they definitely have a great young nucleus there on offense, and quarterback play is the only question mark, and that's okay. You know why? Because the following year, they're probably going to get Aaron Rodgers, and that's just going to elevate everybody. So, but until then, I mean, I can definitely see Noah Fant, doing his thing. If I feel like one way or another, it'll have to happen by default, because I feel like if Drew Lock is the quarterback, he's going to have. I feel like he's going to be, play well enough to get it done. And then if Teddy Bridgewater's there, I feel like Teddy will get him the ball. So either way, I feel like I can definitely see, a breakout year. He definitely has the opportunity to do so right now. So. All right, so Noah Fant at 7. So we getting towards the end of our top 10. We got names like Dallas Goedert, who's stepped up and done well with the absence of Zach Ertz. Logan Thomas came on strong last year. Robert Tonyan, same thing. And you got like guys like Mike Gesicki, who had a good year. Tyler Higbee, who had a good year. You start throwing in names like Irv Smith Jr. So basically at number 8, are we leaning towards the city of brotherly love or Chocolate City or Cheese Hills, man?
Oh man. So 2 names for me.
Yeah.
It'll be between Goddard and Tonyan with the news with Aaron Rodgers coming back. He likes Tonyan. He likes him a lot, and he had high praise for him. He think he can be one of the elite tight ends in the NFL. But with that being said, Dallas Goedert is just a freak of nature, man. And I think he's like 6'6", like 250 pounds, and he has very, very solid hands. And he basically like manhandled, like strong armed the position away from Zach Ertz when he was out with that injury, and he hasn't looked back since. So I expect him and Jalen Hurts to get up on like the same page early and often, Jamar. And the addition of Devontae Smith should only add to his value. It should open up Goddard a little bit more over the middle. So at this spot, I think I'm going to go with Goddard just slightly over Robert Tonyan for me.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. So Goddard 8, Tonyan 9. And just really quick, just want to highlight something on Tonyan. In Aaron Rodgers, 10 year with the Packers, normally tight ends are not that relevant fantasy-wise. I mean, as far as real football, yeah, they're relevant. But fantasy-wise, it hasn't really been there. Last year, that was something to see, a tight end, doing damage and finishing in the top 5, right? So,
yep.
So the fact that we have him in the top 10 right now, that I feel like that speaks volumes to how much Aaron Rodgers actually views the guy. So keep that in mind, because tight ends normally do not do well in the Green Bay offense under the Aaron Rodgers regime. So just throwing that out there. All right, so 10. So we have Logan Thomas, Tyler Higbee, Mike Gesicki, Irv Smith Jr. You can throw in Evan Ingram, John Smith, Hunter Henry. Uh, does Logan Thomas take this spot?
He does. He really does. Ryan Fitzpatrick is there. We already know about how good that backfield is, and that backfield is also going to warrant like targets with both Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissic. Like both of these guys can catch, and they already put in stone that they wanted to give Gibson more work, which bodes well for you, Jamar. I think you have him in the Dynasty League. So congrats to you. Like they're really trying to open this guy up, make him a legit dual threat. So I think Ron Rivera like stated that was like the route that was like the route that they wanted to take with him. So what does that do for JD McKissick? I'm not sure, but Logan Thomas should be able to, like, he was fantastic last year. Like he was very, very good, especially in PPR format because of the target share. And Fitzpatrick is only going to elevate that because this guy likes to throw the football. Scary Terry should be the main beneficiary, but watch out for Logan Thomas this year.
I can definitely see that. And so, really quick, the recap of our top 10. Number 1, Travis Kelce. 2, George Kittle. 3, Darren Waller. 4, TJ Hockenson. 5, Mark Andrews. 6, Kyle Pitts. 7, Noah Fant. 8, Dallas Goedert. Number 9, Robert Tonyan. And number 10, Logan Thomas. All right. So, all right, let's do 11 through 15. We are going to do the top 20 here. All right, so just a refresher. You know, I would say after TJ Hockenson, everybody else is touchdown dependent right now. I mean, Kyle Pitts may not be that when it's all said and done. Maybe Mark Andrews. I know last year was a down year for Mark Andrews. He became more touchdown dependent than he was the year before. But he still finished in the top 5 somehow. But anyway, so everybody else going forward is definitely touchdown dependent. It's just more so, I guess, the opportunity of you finding the end zone was probably going to drive the rest of these rankings here. So, all right. So names for 11, I mentioned some before: Tyler Higbee, Mike Gesicki, Irv Smith Jr., Evan Ingram, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry. This one's a little tough.
Oh, for sure. But I got a name that I like, and that is Mike Gesicki at the 11th spot. For Miami. He came on strong during like a point in last year's season, and he really never looked back. Like some of the catches that he made, man. Like I watched a lot of those Miami games because like they're terrific to watch in real time, and like he really impressed me. I wasn't sure what to think about the guy with the crazy last name, so he definitely made me into a believer. And I like him a lot. And like I think you can find value to, like, I call him like a legit mid-tier tight end 1. And I really think he is probably that. I believe like that's his ceiling. So I like Mike Gesicki at the number 11 spot, Jamar.
Hey, I mean, I can't really argue with you too much on there. I know it's tough, but you know, ever since Tua became the starter, I mean, Gesicki's value went up. And I mean, that's normal, right? Because rookie quarterback, security blanket, was usually tight end. Mike Gesicki had, you know, he during the fantasy playoffs, I mean, I feel like he delivered some trophies to some people in that position. So I can only see Mike Gesicki, you know, value going a little higher and higher from here. All right, so 12. Any other names stick out to you?
I know you mentioned Jonnu Smith, Evan Ingram, and it was another one, Irv Smith Jr. and Higbee. Tyler Higbee would be another good name. Right here. He basically asserted himself as the tight end, and they wanted to take a leap forward with this guy. Sean McVay has been raving about him, like a lot of coaches tend to do with a lot of players, just so they can trick us into drafting them. But again, I think he's a pretty good talent. Matthew Stafford is there. We saw what he was able to do with a TJ Hawkinson. So for like the better quarterback here, I really like Tyler Higbee right outside of our top 10.
All right, so Higbee, sorry, comes in at 12. All right, so 13, things get a little interesting. So you got Evan Ingram, who is sensational talent. We love the talent because for the past couple of years was like, you know what, this guy is gonna be the guy. Like he's just gonna blow it up, and it has yet to pan out between injury and just underachievement. You got Irv Smith Jr., who I feel like is going to be the third best pass catcher in the Vikings offense, who actually, was actually very productive last year. That flies under the radar. And then you got Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, who's with the New England Patriots. So, it gets a little interesting here.
Man, it's oh boy. Evan Ingram. What to say about Evan Ingram? And again, the jury is still out. Whether this, like the eye test, Jamar, he passes it, right?
Right.
He's just a bigger wide receiver. Like this guy has moves. He is what we thought. Darren Waller is what we thought that Evan Ingram should have been. You and I both said that because their skill set is pretty similar. Is this the year that Evan Ingram can put it together? Who knows? To be completely honest, Kenny Galladay hurts his stock a little bit because he is going to warrant a lot of attention. But up on the same token, this can open up things for Evan Ingram. And God, dude, a fantastic talent. And I've actually owned him in a couple of fantasy leagues. The first year he came into the league, I owned him. I'm like, man, this guy's going to be the truth. And he just really hasn't fit that bill. But do we put him over a name like Hunter Henry or Irv Smith Jr., like who you mentioned will possibly be the third best receiver up on that football team? Who knows? So, man, I think we're really splitting hairs with these two guys, and I think you can honestly go either way, bro.
Yeah, this is tough. You know what? I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Evan Ingram here.
Okay.
It's like this is like similar to, I guess, Daniel Jones and his situation as the quarterback. It's like, this year is your benchmark, as in we're gonna finally know what type of player you're gonna be.
Yep.
From a pro football perspective and from a fantasy perspective. If Evan Ingram has another down year, then he just until Daniel Jones is removed, he's just going to be an underachieving player. And so, I have hope for the guy. I'm pretty sure this list is definitely going to change by the time week 2 happens. But until then, we give him the benefit of the doubt at 13.
Okay.
I want to put Irv Smith Jr. at 14. I feel like this man has top 10 upside here this year. But
absolutely.
But I guess we will see. It all depends on empty calories, Kirk Cousins. So, hey. All right, so he's at 14. So 15. So just throwing out some names here: Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Blake Jarwin, Cole Kmet, Adam Troutman from the Saints.
Yep.
Gronk, Austin Hooper, Gerald Everett.
All right, so let's focus on those Patriots guys right now.
All right.
Because and that's Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. So they've been flip-flopping as far as like the depth chart goes. But as of right now, Jamar, if I'm not mistaken, they have Hunter Henry at tight end 1 and Jonnu Smith at tight end 1A. So I believe they are going to run a bunch of 2 tight end sets, which bodes well for Cam Newton. We know how he struggled passing the football because, he didn't really have anybody to throw it to, and they went out and went to just go grab some guys. I mean, they were just grabbing them both out of nowhere. So I feel like he got a better. I feel like that Cam, I'm not going to say go as far as him being super Cam again, but he's definitely going to have a much better season. And it's going to be because of these two gentlemen here. And I'm going to give the edge to Hunter Henry just for depth chart purposes here. I like Jonnu Smith, and he was great during his time with Tennessee. But I'm going to give the slight edge to Hunter Henry over his tight end teammate.
All right, so just a quick recap of the top 15. Travis Kelce at number 1, George Kittle at number 2, Darren Waller at 3, Hawkinson at 4, Andrews at 5, Pitts 6, Fant 7, Goddard 8, Tanya 9, Thomas 10, and then Gesicki 11, Higbee 12, Ingram 13, Smith Jr. 14, Hunter Henry 15. All right. So with that being said, does that mean Jonnu Smith is 16 by default?
Jonnu Smith is 16 by default. Yep, for sure.
Okay. Get that knocked out here. Okay. All right. 17. Things get a little interesting here. So we got Blake Jarwin of the Cowboys. My buddy Cole Kmet for the Bears. Adam Troutman for the Saints. Got Gronk out there. Got Austin Hooper out there. I mean, Gerald Everett. These are truly touchdown dependent people at this point. And so, I mean, let's just quick synopsis of everybody. So Blake Jarwin plays in the Cowboys. They're in a high power offense, so there's upside there. Cole Kmet is probably the third best pass catcher on the Bears right now, who has upside. Adam Troutman, I mean, in the Saints offense, depending on who's the quarterback there that plays, a big role. Gronk, he definitely touchdown dependent, but more so, I don't know what he will actually do in the regular season compared to the actual postseason. Austin Hooper, I mean, me personally never has been a big fan of him fantasy football wise. He just had one productive year, in my opinion, out of nowhere, and is there. But he's also in an offense that has a lot of featured players, and so, I mean, I probably will lean towards Blake Jarwin just because of the offense he in. But we're definitely starting to split hairs here.
We definitely are. I mean, like you mentioned, Jamar, truly touchdown dependent guys at this point in our tight end rankings. I like how you did Austin Hooper, by the way, man. That is hilarious. But with that being said, Cole Kmet, you brought up a very interesting point. You brought up the point that he is arguably the third best option on the Bears team. And this is an if, your boy Justin Fields gets the nod, I really do think that he'll utilize him as being a security blanket. So depending on which one of those guys get the nod, I think Cole Kmet can be a valuable asset to anyone's roster. So I'm gonna give the edge to your guy. I mean, Notre Dame, stand up. You know what I mean? We are in Indiana, so yeah, Cole Kmet at 17.
Bear down. Just look at the aesthetics behind it, but All right, so 17 there. So 18. What you thinking?
18 would have to be Blake Jarwin, and just because of those just because those things that you mentioned, Jamar, he is in a high-powered offense. I think they're going to air it out, man. And even that, and when I say air it out, I really still do believe that Ezekiel Elliott will have a bounce back season as poor as he played for me. Remember, he was up on my bus last year, Jamar. So, but he definitely was the driver of said bus. So, man, I don't. Look, they got a lot of mouths to feed there, man. Like seriously. between like the fantastic sophomore and CeeDee Lamb, and they still got the veteran wide receiver there in Michael Gallup, and we can't forget about slot machine. Dang, what's the guy's name? The unsung wide receiver one of that football team.
Oh, Marley?
Yeah, Amari Cooper. So he's still there. So I mean, like they got a lot of mouths to feed, but Blake Jarwin can also be a beneficiary of the other targets that are like left over. He's a young guy, and I think he's going to get the job done. So Jarwin wouldn't be too bad at 18. And again, at this point, we are definitely splitting hairs. And keep in mind that all of these guys are nothing but touchdown dependent at this point. So.
Facts. All right, we got two more here. So we got Adam Troutman, we got Rob Gronkowski, Austin Hooper, Gerald Everett. Give me a second, I can give you a couple more names here.
Gerald Everett, okay.
Gerald Everett of the Seahawks. You got Jared Cook of the Chargers. Your boy Eric Ebron. Yeah, pretty much everything else probably dumpster fire right now. So.
Oh boy, yeah. Grunk, man. Like, let's talk about Grunk for a second. So, I think he came on pretty well at some points, and he had his spurts. I think in like a 2-game span, he had like a couple of touchdowns, and we thought, okay, this is the moment this guy's going to take off, but not so. I think Grunk is there just out of like toughness and like honestly, Tom Brady being there. So. But again, it is still Gronk, and he has been known to have a big game or two, So,
but I'll throw this out there: like OJ Howard was hurt the whole year, and he's coming back, so that's just another tight end, another weapon on that offense. That
is true. That is true.
Personally, I can't put Gronk in my top 20 right now just because it's so many weapons there. If Gronk is in the top 20, he is number 20 right now. It is tough because 1 week he could have 2 touchdowns, like 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, and like 50 yards or something. Next week he have a goose egg.
Yeah,
is that volatile there? It's just a lot of mouths to feed. Is what it is.
Let me see some other names that you mentioned. You mentioned Austin Hooper, Eric Ebron, Gerald Everett. Yep.
Playing with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that at 19.
Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about Everett real quick. So Everett is one of those guys that Russell Wilson likes. Pete Carroll likes. Like they like what they see out of this guy. And again, they really do believe it's going to be a breakout campaign for him. But the thing with that is we know Russell Wilson likes to spread the ball out a lot. He really doesn't favor any more receivers outside the names of Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. He still likes to spread it around a lot. We've seen it with what was the other guy there, Will Dissly. He was like a hit or miss tight end. But Everett, like they like him, Jamar. And at 19, I think that's not too bad of an assessment there.
Yeah, and then also I remember when a couple years ago when Jimmy Graham was there, and it kind of like rejuvenated his fantasy value for a little bit because a lot of people thought that Jimmy Graham was in I don't say famous words, but Justin Timberlake and the song was like dead and gone. That's what it felt like for his fantasy value. So, he's not going to get a big target share or anything, but, can he score you a few touchdowns? Can he have, a sneaky game here and there? Sure. You know why? Because Russell Wilson is the quarterback, and they pass the ball a lot. So he's at 19, and then the last person here, we got Troutman still available. Gronk is still there. Austin Hooper. He's not a Hooper, though. Jared Cook, Eric Ebron. Zach Ertz.
Oh wow, we're down that far, huh?
Yeah, we're getting there.
You threw out a name, Jared Cook, Austin Hooper, and where's Cook now? He's with the Chargers?
Yes.
Okay. Man. Hmm? Man, this is tough. This is really, really tough. I think all of these guys have similar value, apparently, at this point in our rankings. I'm gonna go back to the name because I think you said this before. Hooper don't be hooping like that, bro. So
No.
I mean I think we should definitely leave him just outside of our top 20 for sure until he proves us otherwise. So man, we're back to the name which I said Grunt. The Troutman thing is I think it's just at this point, I think it's more so of like a pipe dream because of the quarterback play there. We are not sure exactly what's going to happen, who's going to be under center in New Orleans. And I think that Sean Payton probably likes it that way. I think he'll be more difficult to game plan for. Maybe he's thinking the same. But what does that do to everyone's value there inside that receiving core? So for that reason, I like to keep Troutman out of it. And I think oh man, I think I'm going back to the name Gronk. I'm going back to the name Gronk here, Jamar.
I mean, I was a few minutes ago. I just said if Gronk is in my list, he's at number 20. And you know what? Based on what you said about Sean Payton, like he like maybe he likes the game plan like that. I mean, me too. With your Saints players, man, outside of Alvin Kamara, I'm game planning not to play him. How about that? I mean,
rolling, you really are rolling the dice with those guys, Jamar.
it's like you don't know. I mean, I'm hoping Jameis Winston is the starter because I feel like there's more like normalcy there and more.
For sure.
Like I know what to expect at that point. Like maybe Adam Troutman might be a name I could throw in the top 20 at that point. Michael Thomas' value, might increase, but then again, he's probably gonna start the season, on the injury list, electing to have surgery here a couple of days ago. So I mean, yeah, it all depends on quarterback play. So I'm okay with Gronk at 20, man. Coming towards the end, it's like splitting hairs. They're truly touchdown dependent. So
For sure.
it is what it is. So, all right, final recap here for the tight end rankings. Kels at 1, Kittle, Waller, Hockenson, Andrews, Pitts, Fant, Goddard, Tyan, Thomas. That's the top 10. Gesicki, Higbee, Ingram. I think I just jacked up. Let me try this again because apparently I like to make mistakes when typing my own list here. So things happen. All right, so we'll do it like this. All right, Kels at 1, Kittle 2, Waller 3, Hockenson 4, Andrews 5, Kyle Pitts 6, Fant 7, Goddard 8, Tanya 9, Logan Thomas 10, Gesicki 11, Higbee 12, Ingram 13, Irv Smith Jr. 14, Henry 15, Jonathan Smith 16, Commit 17, Jarwin 18, Everett 19, Gronk 20. That is our top 20 tight ends. Really quick before we end, I want to, I guess do a quick recap and your thoughts here on our Dynasty League. So we've been talking about our Dynasty League, doing one or whatnot for a while now. We started our draft process last Saturday. So it's 12 teams in this league. It's a 42-man roster, offense and defense. We're gonna conclude today because I only got 2 picks left. It's been a long process. People got lives, people go to work, things of that nature. But I guess, how do you feel about your team so far? Like, because I know this outside of Vic, everybody else, this is the first time doing this.
Man, so I actually feel pretty good, Jamar. Like I like my roster as is. The only knock, in my opinion, that I did not land was my franchise defensive player. Like I already told you that I was eyeing Chase Young. But man, that guy flew. That guy flew. And it was still legit. Running backs there, still legit. Wide receiver twos with wide receiver one upside, and he was gone. Like I looked, I'm like, man, did he really go that fast? But overall, bro, I like my team. I like my team. And for my starters, look out. Look out. I am coming out punching people in the mouth, and I'm not letting up until until the cows come home, bro. I like my roster. And like, look out. I know that I got to change my team name, and I'm looking to do that as soon as this draft is over with. But as far as a dynasty perspective, I think I set myself up in a good position, and that's what dynasty is all about, right? Sometimes you can't go for those names like a Julio Jones because Julio Jones been fantastic, but he's definitely on the down inside of the hill. So you got to think of guys like I did with like a CeeDee Lamb or Nick Chubb, who recently just got an extension with the Cleveland Browns. So shout out to him. It was much deserved. So I was definitely looking for some younger talent with tremendous upside. So I feel like I landed a couple of those guys, man. And I've been eyeballing your team, dude. And this is what I do. And you're looking pretty formidable yourself. So
not too shabby. Not too shabby. I do like my team. So just to give people a little insight of my team. So I focus on winning now and later, basically being relevant now, relevant in the next few years. I've drafted like my strategy was draft guys 27 years and younger that's already good now and will continue to grow. So that's why I have names like Jonathan Taylor on my team, Antonio Gibson, like you mentioned. I snagged up Cam Akers, but I also got Darrell Henderson, so I'm going to be relevant there as well. Justin Jefferson, a lot of people was mad on that one. I get it. I got Mecole Hardman. I feel like he's going to like just blossom in that offense now with no Sammy Watkins. You know what? I took Ryan Tannehill as my placeholder right now, but I have Justin Fields waiting. And I got TJ Hockenson and Irv Smith Jr. I'm happy there. Defense, I feel like a lot of us was winging that one, but I feel like I got some studs that still. I got a little older people on the defense, but I still got some studs, some younger studs. I got Aaron Donald. I mean, I feel like I can't go wrong there for now.
Facts.
I got Jerome Baker, linebacker of the Dolphins. I mean, I got Miles Jack. I mean, Jalen Johnson of my Bears. I feel confident. I really do that I can compete this year, next year, the year after, and at that point, it's just gonna be continuous plug and play, fill in the gaps, and keep it moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's really some exciting stuff, and you and I are no stranger to taking on a challenge, and that's exactly what we did. We've been talking about doing this Dynasty League for probably like the past two years, and we really put the plan into motion this year. Got a couple of guys who we'll know who will play for maybe a decade, maybe even longer. But honestly, I just want to tip my hat to everybody. I think everybody drafted well. Me and my cousin Vic. Shout out Lil Vic. We both talked about how well everyone did in the draft for it being like their very first time. But I'm out there to crack some skulls and make a name for myself, Jamar. You know how I like to do. I like to come out the gate, just all hands on deck, and I mean literally putting my hands on people in this league, bro. letting them know that I am a force to be reckoned with. So Jamar gave you a little quick breakdown of his team. I'm gonna do exactly the same. I'm just gonna give you guys some insight of my formidable team as well. So again, I was super ecstatic to land Josh Allen. Josh Allen, that just speaks for itself. Zach Wilson, hear me out on this now. I believe he has the highest ceiling of all the quarterbacks that were drafted just because it was his ability to run. I think the guy run almost as fast as Justin Fields. So make no mistake about it, he's fast. I think he ran like a 4.4 at the combine.
Hey, that's fine. I need your Zach Wilson to pan out because I have Michael Carter and Elijah Moore. So I need your guy to pan out.
So maybe we can work out like a deal a little bit later. We'll talk about that up on like the fly. snagged Jared Goff just because I needed some more depth at the
Yep.
quarterback position, just in case my first two guys didn't pan out. I started with Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb as my RB1s, Myles Gaskin, Zach Moss, JD McKissick as my other running backs there. And I also went with a Jared Oaks for Miami. So I'm basically securing every running back for Miami that I can right now because I like Miami going forward. I feel like they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I got, oh man, I cannot say enough about my receiving core with DeAndre Hopkins, CeeDee Lamb, and Cooper Kupp. Man, like that is fantastic. Go ahead and hit you up with a little bit of Robbie Anderson, who can be productive. And you know me, I had to go grab me a young guy and a top 5 a dynasty receiver in Rashad Bateman for Baltimore. He has a lot of upside there. And a name that too many people don't hear is a Diami Brown. He plays for Washington. So I'm not sure about what that offense is going to look forward to, but I heard that this guy has been moving around inside the offense. So he's going to play a lot of slot. He's going to play some outside as well. And I believe he's from North Carolina. Noah Fant, he's a young guy. He's young. So I had to go ahead and snag him up. Coupled him with a Logan Thomas, more so of a veteran tight end there. And the Pratt Freeman from Penn State, if I'm not mistaken. And shout out to my Pittsburgh Steelers for drafting this dude. I think he has a lot of upside. Matt Prater and Harrison Butker are my kickers. My linebacker core is phenomenal with Joe Schobert, Jalen Smith, Eric Kendricks. So, I mean, like, the list goes on. Corey Littleton. I got Max Crosby, Tracy Walker, some fine young safety in Rap and Jeremy Chin. So I was definitely excited to land him as well. So, like, overall, I like my team. Again, I think I'm more than formidable, and I am competing for, like, the number 1 spot. If you are not, you are playing the wrong game. So.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I remember, a couple minutes ago you were calling, putting some hands on people. Just know my team name is Mayhem. So you better come correct when you're going against me. But no, I'm excited, man. I am truly excited. I felt like me personally, I did a standout job of drafting, just going into this and just filling it out. And I mean, only time will tell because season will start here in about 5 weeks from now. So definitely excited. I mean, definitely have a lot of depth at a lot of positions here because you never know what may happen. And just being a true GM to my team for a full calendar year every year. So yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, man. I just want to add what a way to kick off our first action of draft, and we really had to use our brain on this one. We had to dig deep up in the archives and, like you said, bring out our GM side, bro. But again, man, I'm coming for y'all, bro. So it's like I didn't win not a piece of hardware last year, so I'm looking to clean up this year, man. So this guy, man.
Hardware right here, buddy.
I ain't mad at you, bro. I'm not mad at you.
Oh man, so yeah, that basically concludes our show today. I mean we're getting heavy into football season now. Training camp's underway. Preseason is gonna be starting here very soon. We do have a few guests lined up in the future. We are definitely getting ramped up here for week 1, and times are definitely on our side here. So, all right, Mr. Reed, where can they find us?
Man, basically everywhere where podcasts can be found. Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple, iHeart Radio, just basically you name it, we are there. So definitely make sure you check out us across those various platforms. So there's no excuse because we're everywhere, baby.
Absolutely. And then there's a one stop shop for everything involving us. Our website is live, thedestinationfantasy.com. You have our podcast there. You have our blog post there. Our social media links. You have everything in one spot. It is live. I'm telling you, you go there, you will not be disappointed. It is an awesome looking website. All right, so until next week, I'm Jamar. That's my brother Deshaun. Peace out, deuces, much love. And see you.